is, there's a lot of empty space, so why don't we bring everybody down front? I see a few people up in the back.
Come on down.
Come on, everybody, come on down. Come on down. Come on down. We don't bite. But just a few rows down. It just feels lonely to be sitting up there alone, you know? Yeah, absolutely. All right, wonderful. So, for those of you, has anybody never seen an improv show before? I mean, other than Lux, I know you guys have never done this before. Anybody at all? Okay, fine. For those of you who don't know, or for those of you who maybe it's been a while, improvisation is where all five of us are going to get a suggestion from you lovely individuals and make something up on the spot. Tonight, we're actually making up an entire hour-length play, which should be a lot of fun and a lot of chaos, if we're lucky. Since we're going to be about to get suggestions from you guys, I'm just going to warm you up real quick. So, can I have you all shout out your favorite color? Black. Yeah. Your class names, I don't know, something. Murder. 2007. And now your social security number, if I can. 34608. Got it. Okay. Well, lovely. All right, we're all warmed up together now. So without further ado, can I get a suggestion of a common household object?
A blender.
Standing mixer.
I heard standing mixer.
What's a standing mixer?
I don't know either. A standing mixer.
Being employed at the pastry factory, not having any chairs. Just the standing mixers, Jerry.
I gotta say, Anthony, it's really hard work, and the dough's really sticky, and if I didn't work out 12 days a week, that is to say 12 times a week of the 7 days there are, I wouldn't be able to handle it. Mind if I take a smoke break?
Oh, of course. Wait. Just step a little closer to the window so Reginald doesn't give us a hard time again.
Screw Reginald. He's no fun. Doesn't let us do anything around here. Doesn't let us smoke, doesn't let us sit. We're just the standing mixers together.
Right, Jerry, that's absolutely right. Reginald and his highfalutin rules. But
Reginald thinks he owns the place, but if it weren't for his father, he'd never be here. Well, if it weren't for his mother, he'd never be here, but his father helped a lot. Have a cigar. It's like a hefty cigarette.
How do can you light it for me, please?
Absolutely. You light it right at the end, and you take a big lungful, and sometimes when I want to stick it to the man, I blow it into the dough.
That's intense, Jerry.
Anthony, it sounds like your lungs aren't particularly robust. That doesn't bode well for working in a factory.
Tiffany, can I please have one of your apple croissants?
David, I regret to inform you that the ones that we have remaining are for display only. The most recent batch is actually very smoky. We were worried. It almost tasted like nicotine, so we had to recall it. We've been having words with, you remember Jeremy, you dated way back when, right?
Yeah, Jeremy, of course.
Right, Jerry. Yeah, he's been. We think he's been smoking in the factory. And, I'm sorry. We are out of apple croissants, but can I offer you some cinnamon toast bagels?
If you throw in the maple cream cheese.
I'm always trying to angle for that little extra, aren't you?
So your father's still doing well?
Yeah, he's been pretty stressed out. He's running the factory and so. Thank you.
Keep the change, Ted.
Well, thank you, David.
Is somebody smoking in my factory? Jeremy. Have you been smoking in the factory?
Well, my name name sure is Jeremy. That's why I've got this name tag. It's not Jerry. And so you should reprimand Jeremy on his paperwork and fire him immediately.
I'll do that immediately.
And while we're at it, I would love it if we could have some more atmosphere in the place. Maybe paint the walls baby blue.
My father said any color in a factory will foment revolution. That's not how capitalism works, Jeremy.
Maybe I don't want to be a capitalist. Maybe I just want to be me.
Jeremy, it's fired. As all bosses must sit.
Reginald, thank you for inviting me to tonight's poker night.
Of course.
I've been coming to the place on Main Street for about the last couple weeks, and, your sister, Tiffany, is she dating anyone?
I mean, not since her breakup. She was pretty torn up about it.
Full House.
That's right. You're really good at this.
Thank you, Reginald.
I only have 5 twos.
Yeah, that's a losing hand.
Oh, poor Jeremy. He had a wife and kids.
Yeah, this was his only source of employment. It really sucks that this town only has this one place that hires.
Yeah, ever since the universal basic income, it's just been really hard to find work.
Yeah,
Reverse incentives and all that.
it's a shame. Luckily, I found this bottle of pink paint in the storage area, and I thought, why not paint some roses on the wall?
But that'll foment revolution. The only thing supposed to be revolving is the pastry in this fine establishment.
Oh, Anthony, I've always really admired your taste for aesthetics and your willingness to obey rules.
Sure, you gotta stay in the lines, or you're gonna get messed up by the boss man.
I'm not afraid of the boss man. I'd like to ask you, would you be interested in hanging out in the pastries this weekend?
Oh, of course. I love pastries.
Reginald, thank you so much for meeting me in the factory basement. I know it's a little scary in here, but I just felt like the only place we could talk anymore. And, Dad's got all those cameras in the main floor.
I'm really trying to show him I'm a good leader.
Hey, Reggie, we all know you're a good leader. I'm sorry I can't help out more. I'm working the shop on Main Street. But
I'm afraid everything's going to shit. I mean, look, there are roses on the walls.
they're beautiful. I think it brings a lot of ambiance.
Do you think anybody really respects my authority around here?
I'm sure they do. I mean, I never come in here, but David always loves to come in and get pastries. I think he's been here once a day. It's been very frequent.
Profits are up.
Yeah. So I don't think you have anything to worry about, Reggie. I've always looked up to you. He's my older brother.
Well, that's part of your legal requirement.
I hate to tell you this, but those rules you wrote when we were kids, they don't apply to everything.
Oh my. Well, I'm glad you're continuing to follow them anyway. I don't like any rule breakers around here.
Reggie, I look up to you with or without the rules.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Oh, you're working the shop today, Jeremy?
Well, I really should change this. Yeah, I am. I hope that's okay. If you don't want to buy a pastry, though, we'll be open again tomorrow, so...
You know,
Ooh, this is awkward.
Yeah, you're really good at naming situations.
thank you. It's one of the reasons you said you dated me.
Yeah. Yeah, I just loved whenever I was mad at you, you'd say,
You're mad at me.
yeah, that was really helpful for fostering communication. Why don't you just have a jelly-filled donut and be on your way?
You remember they're my favorite. I don't order them anymore because, I had it for the first time on our first date,
Yeah, you know what? It's on the house.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, and, if you ever need anything, you know where to find me.
Thanks. I'll see you around.
Okay. Guess I'll just keep these bagels out. Really hate bagels.
Oh, you need help with these bagels? Bobby?
Oh, hey. Yeah, I'd love some help.
My favorite food, really. Gonna stack them. Bagel sticks. Present them rather nicely for the customers.
David just came in.
Oh, David.
Our best customer.
Yeah. Weird dude. Right? You two had a little thing going on, right?
That was in the past, and I'm really over it, and I'm actually interested in someone else now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, so we're still on for the pasture tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. Pastries. Pastries all the way.
Cool. I'm really glad, and I love bagels too.
Aw.
Just like you, we have a mutual interest in bagels.
One mutual interest, that is correct. And probably many others.
You know what? Why don't you send me a list of your interests for tomorrow, and I'll just check off how many I also have.
Got it.
Water sports of various types. Pastures. So it seems like Anthony's interested in a lot of very fun and interesting things. Go figure. You really shouldn't leave these out on the counter in the shop, though. I wonder who arranged all these bagels so nicely. And they're by flavor, too. Now, some forward thinking. David, hello!
Hey, Tiffany. Weird question, but would you want to go to the pastures with me tonight?
David, that's so out of nowhere.
I was just thinking life is short, and it's silly to let the past affect the future, And
You dated one of my employees.
But there's no reason that means we can't go on a date. A date doesn't mean we're dating.
So it is a date. David, I would love to.
And I know I usually get one of those apple croissants, but can I have a jelly donut, please?
Sure. Okay. Is that a new thing that you're trying, or?
It's an old thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
And here's my number, so we can call me about the pasture tonight, please.
For sure.
Thank you.
I hate to say it, you are our best customer, and I will need you to also pay money for your drink.
Of course.
I'm sorry, I didn't make this awkward or transactional or anything. I just feel like it's my personal duty as
Of course,
I'm sorry.
I was just, I
you want to say it?
no,
sorry.
I was just excited. I was just excited. No, I forgot.
Nightcap, candle.
Well, hello there, Jerry.
Oh, I was just getting ready for bed.
Pause. They're in the factory barracks, which are off the main factory floor. Unpause.
I didn't expect you to see you in my barracks. This is not my real name tag. I was just borrowing it.
So you're neither Jeremy or Jerry.
Oh, well, Jeremy was fired, right?
Right, I fired Jeremy. He's not here anymore.
Yes. And if anyone else...
I'm face blind.
Well, if anyone else does anything wrong, my name for future reference is Joseph.
All right.
Anyway, I was just adjusting my nightcap and my striped pajamas to hit the barracks. If that's all right, sir.
All right. I was just looking for some friends, but that's okay.
Oh.
I understand that you're just my employee and.
No, my face is sympathetic.
Thank you for telling me. It's hard for me to know.
Right. I thought you had so many friends. And
Well, leadership is a lonely sport.
oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Sometimes when I'm looking in this dusty, dilapidated mirror that we could fix with some of the extra revenue from this quarter.
Yeah, now that we've fired Jeremy, we have to.
Yeah. Anyway, sometimes I look in this mirror and I tell myself things that I believe about myself, like, you are valuable, you are good, you are a hard worker, you have a lot of tricep muscles, you believe in that Columbia will win the next soccer match, you trust...
Oh man, so glad you could join me in our company-sanctioned eating quarters.
Of course, I always love to have lunch in the cafeteria. I mean, you don't have to give it such an official-sounding name. I know Reggie likes to call things by Reginald likes to call things by their proper names or whatever.
Things have to be organized. Systems can't work.
Speaking of, I noticed that someone put the bagels in a very specific order, and I absolutely loved it. And I also saw that you were on the cleaning schedule for earlier that day. And I was just wondering if you had any interest in working at the shop.
Oh, I'd love to.
Instead of being a standing mixer.
It's not great for my triceps, but I'd love to get to.
They are quite well defined.
Oh, Tiffany. Flatter me.
Well, it's just a fact, But anyway,
So, I've known you for a few months.
Yeah.
Would it be weird if somebody asked me to go to the pastries with them?
You know what? I had that exact same thing happen to me earlier today.
Get out!
No, I'm meeting them tonight.
Really? I'm meeting my person tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow, isn't that so funny? We turned into a double date.
Is it a date? Is that?
See, that's the thing is I asked them whether it was a date or not, and they got all flustered, and then they were like, well, they actually said, just because it's a date, we're not dating, and I was like, it's a date, and then they were like, they kind of got all flustered, and I didn't want to make it weird or anything. But they were also buying a bagel at a donut. It was a jelly donut, weirdest thing. And
You don't want to mess with the transaction.
No, right. But it was right in the middle, and then we need the revenue.
Yeah.
Right.
Did they ask you to write a list of interests?
You know what? They didn't. That seems a little. But I did actually see you left yours on the counter.
Oh,
Yeah, in the shop, and you have some very interesting interests. I also love water sports.
You do?
Yeah.
Water polo?
Yeah, water polo, water
Surfing.
skiing, surfing.
Water skiing.
Jeremy?
David?
What are you doing
You're
in the
not
pasture?
the one I'm meeting in the pasture.
You're meeting someone in the pasture?
You're meeting someone else in the pasture? Well, it's a good thing it's a small pasture, so one of us has to leave.
Pause. The fence around the pasture is like the borders of this room. It's a very small pasture. Unpause.
I was here first.
I believe that's impossible to verify, given that we only bumped into each other while walking backwards.
Well, I was just making the lay of the land, making sure it's all flat, no anthills. And when I lay out my picnic blanket, I want it to be perfect.
You know what? I was just about to review the water polo and cruise scores from the last game until my friend arrives. You're welcome to continue to check for your silly anthills. I'm going to set up my blanket at the front of the pasture.
You don't like water sports.
I developed a new interest. I've developed many of those since leaving you, David.
If I remember right, I broke up with you.
That's interesting because I think that'd be hard to verify given that we broke up with each other walking backwards.
Let's see it.
And I'm sick and tired of your antics.
And I'm sick and tired of the fact that you never have time spent in me because you're always standing and mixing.
Well, that's it.
I'm breaking up with you!
You know, it's hard to see who said I first.
That's fair.
You know, it's the first time you validated something I've said in a long while.
Well, you know, people mature over time. I will admit that it was immature of me to be upset with you for spending your time earning a living, which is important.
Well, I guess it was a little unfair of me to criticize your antics when it was your whimsy that first attracted you to me.
David!
The viscosity of the water.
Right, it supports you because you're traveling at such a high velocity.
Oh.
Absolutely.
You just get.
Hi, David!
Hey,
Oh,
hello,
hello.
Tiffany.
It's lovely. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to step
How
on
are
the
you?
blanket.
Yeah.
Jerry!
Oh, I didn't know you were walking together.
Anthony.
Well, we figured we'd carpool just as we were
David.
moving on.
So good to
We were going
see you.
So great seeing you. Oh,
But so are you
is that
two.
something you're doing with your
But you
friends?
two.
Yeah.
So I was.
And you guys, us guys? No. Us and them, but not you.
You know, why don't you all have a fun picnic by yourselves?
Jerry! Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I feel just terrible about that.
You. And Anthony.
Well, I mean, he worked. We were talking at the cafeteria.
Of course.
And he asked me if well, I mean, I won't go over it again, but basically we just figured out we were going to the pasture at the same time tonight. It's funny that it's so funny that you and Jerry invited us both to the same place.
Well,
David?
I had no idea Jeremy and Anthony were going to be here.
I'm just wondering.
I actually
it
literally
seems like,
bumped into Jeremy when I got here.
because if I look at this blanket, it's the inverse pattern of that blanket. It's like it's almost like this is something the two of you did when you were together.
I mean,
I feel a little weird about that. I mean, it's a date, but it's not like a dating
the
date.
pasture is the nicest, spot in town,
It's the only green spot in
Yeah,
town.
it's literally, this fence
Yeah.
is it's both the pasture, the dog park, and the petting zoo. Depending on which day of the week.
Right. And hour of day. Anyway.
Yes.
But 9 o'clock on Mondays, that's date night.
I thought this could be something special we could do together. I didn't realize other people would be here. If I'd known, I never would have scheduled it.
Look, David, I didn't want to make this weird or anything. I thought it was lovely that you asked me to join you, and I think you're a really lovely individual. I don't want to feel like you're doing the same things with me that you did with Jerry. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to be... Does this make sense? Does it make sense what I'm saying? Like, I just feel really odd that you're doing with me what you did, like what you and Jerry did together as a special thing that the two of you did.
Yeah.
I want, if this was going to be anything, I want it to be something that we did together without that influence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm talking too much. I'm
No,
sorry. I think I'm just gonna go. If you see Anthony, I'll let him know I'll be waiting in the car. Just because we carpooled and I would feel bad leaving him. But
You are a good leader.
pause. The mirror is over here. Since he's face blind, he doesn't realize it. Unpause.
Oh, I didn't see you because I'm face blind. You all right?
No, I'm not. But I'm sorry to hear your face blindness translates to a lot of other kinds of blindness as well.
It comes in and out.
So, no, Reginald, the mirror trick's not working for me tonight. I've just been on my bed with my striped nightcap, my candle.
But Monday at 9 p.m. is date night. Shouldn't you be out of the town?
I should, but I'm not. Not because no matter how hard I try to pursue my new interests and new friends and new relationships, David just gets in the way. Literally and in my mind. It's so hard, Reginald. You think it's hard to be a leader?
Yeah, I think it's really hard to be a leader.
Try to be a follower. It's just so hard to learn so much about physics and hydroelectricity and water just to impress a guy. And I've just been doing nothing but learning about water polo and crew and sailing and other boating activities and fishing and rivers and lakes and reservoirs and streams and tributaries and oceans. And
Joseph, you don't need to know about water sports and streams and tributaries and oceans and water skiing and backwards water skiing and sideways water polo.
You're saying
to attract a man.
you're saying I don't need to know about swimming and diving and drinking and any of these other activities to attract someone?
Joseph, you're attractive on your own. I mean, look into the mirror of self-discovery. Wouldn't you want to be with that man even if you didn't know anything about swimming or diving?
Anthony.
Thank you for coming to poker night, Anthony.
Oh yeah, I was working in the grocery store, saving my pennies for poker night.
Yeah. I heard there's been some weird tumult at the factory with, the boss passing away and Tiffany being named the new, what's the term?
Heir apparent?
Yeah, heir apparent.
Their org structure is way out of sync.
Yeah, and Reginald's the vice president.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Four of a kind.
You take it.
Thank you.
Just steal my big blinds, man. It's not very fun. Here, let me deal. Yeah, so I don't know what they're gonna do there.
Full house.
Oh, you.
father on his grave. The eyes will stop watching us now. Tiffany?
Sorry.
Oh my God, are you late to our father's funeral?
I wanted to get flowers.
That's a good point.
I got the biggest bouquet of long-stemmed roses that they had just because I knew those were his favorite. There, now his watchful eyes can watch those flowers. Granted, they'll die soon, but
Everybody
it's the
dies,
thought that
Tiffany.
counts.
Oh my god.
Reginald. Hey.
It's okay, Tiffany, you're gonna be a great leader. He was right to see that you should be the leader and not me.
Reggie, don't make this about
I'm
you.
sorry,
Don't make this
I
about
didn't
you.
mean to you.
And
You
you know-
deserve
you
it,
know-
and I didn't want to make it about me.
You know that there's no way that I'm going to be able to run this company without you. I'm actually thinking that we should be co-presidents.
Tiffany, our father saw how this company should be run for a reason. I mean, he was watching everything we do on the cameras.
That's true.
Becoming co-presidents would subvert his will.
Well, they say the vice president's the one who really runs things anyway, right? Just like the government, right? That's how that works. I'm sorry, I've been in the factory for so long. I really.
I mean, that is how that works in the government, but the clear structure.
Oh, the chart that he wanted opposite the gravestone. Of course, we can use reference to the flowchart of power.
I mean,
So-
this shows that
President here, and then all of the power just goes directly into the warehouse and bypasses the vice president.
I mean, the way that a standing mixer factory works is that all the power
Of course.
is invested in the body of the president.
See, I don't know that. That's not something I know. My triceps have been developing since he passed. I didn't know this was a thing.
He must have chosen you for a reason, Tiffany, and I'm putting my full support behind you.
Thank you, Reggie. That means a lot to me.
I will just do the
Can I
various.
ask you,
Yes.
would you mind being a floor mixer for a while? Just for a time. I actually think that now that I'm president, I need someone else to run the shop, and I think Anthony would be a good fit.
Yes, and now that we've lost Jeremy as well.
I mean, he's actually been doing really well for himself. He retired, and his wife and kids are very happy.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
yeah.
Yes, of course I'll be a floor mixer.
Hi.
Hi. So you're promoted. I'm really happy for you.
Would you like something?
Sure, I'll have a jelly-filled donut.
Of course. Love those. It's always weird that you bite them one way and the jelly.
Yeah, you try to do one thing and it's completely subverted, right?
Yeah. Yeah, see, we never figured that thing out, you know?
Yeah, listen, it's a little depressing now being in the warehouse with Reginald crying into the batter all day.
That explains the inconsistencies in the croissants, probably.
Yeah, probably. Right. But I was hoping maybe during break today, maybe you'd want to take a walk down to the tributary.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I bought some skipping stones. We can test out the viscosity of the water.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, water, interesting properties. It compresses and it's got hydrogen bond interaction in such cool ways.
Oh my gosh. Don't I know all about that? Or I will by break time.
Oh, you're such a funny person.
Yeah. So I mean I don't have to pay for this, right?
Oh, no, of course not. You work in the factory.
Okay, cool.
It's part of our retirement package.
Oh, That's awesome. Have you heard anything about Jeremy, by the way? Because I've been getting a real conscience about that lately.
No, I heard that Jeremy retired, and he's like living well with his wife and kids. It's okay.
He's living well? Dang it.
Oh, yeah, come on in.
David. Hello, I checked in at the desk downstairs.
Right, no, of course, right. Yeah, we had a meeting scheduled, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, my planner's it's a mess right now. What did you want to talk about? Please pull up a chair.
Of course, I'll grab one.
You know, being president has been quite a ride and a half. You know, it's a.
I mean, I can't think of anyone more qualified than you.
So that's very sweet of you to say. I really appreciate that, David. I mean, you having the third person perspective on the workings, the goings on in the factory, I suppose.
I've been a patron of
Pastries.
for the last, I'd say,
3 weeks, 4.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, I've been thinking about a lot. I've been thinking a lot about what you said. You know, about.
David, we really should do this during business hours. I'm sorry to make this transactional again. I'm the president.
Yeah.
It's my off. I have a break. Hold on. Let me just. Jennifer, I'm gonna take my break. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jennifer. All right. So I have an hour and a half break whenever I want in the day. So if you need to. It's not work time anymore. Here, I'll move out from behind the desk so it's not here anymore. Is this better? Sure. Maybe not.
Yeah. So,
Talk to me.
I thought, like I was saying, I've been thinking a lot about what
Right.
you said.
Yes, what I said.
I think you made a good point. I think I was trying to capture one of the best parts of the past relationship because I was hoping to start this one on a good foot because I really like you. And I just wanted things to so go well that I was so focused on just like artificially making things go well. But
That's really David. I don't deserve it. That's too sweet of you.
But you're right. If things are actually going to go well, I should just trust that we can do anything. And if things do go well, then
David, would you like to go to the drive-in movie with me?
I would love to.
Reginald, this was so the salt balance has been really off.
Oh my god, I'm not even good at being a standing mixer.
No.
I can't do anything right.
No, you can. You're great. Just we can get like some sort of plate or something to catch your tears. We can get Jerry on it.
Anthony,
Yeah.
I have really bad news.
Well, what happened?
The FDA is on our case. It's really not good. They found the level of salt in the croissants totally unacceptable.
Oh my god, this is all my fault!
10 instances of food poisoning within this county alone. And if we don't stop it immediately, there's going to be a lot of trouble. We could get shut down. We could all lose our jobs. And we're not all like Jeremy. Oh, no. He took his pension and ran. He took it while it was good. But you know as well as I do, the economy's going down, man. And if we don't get out of here soon...
And people have stopped paying for croissants. They've been giving them away free to factory workers.
Oh my god, and we're the primary clientele. How did we see this coming? Listen, Reginald, please, you gotta stop crying. And Anthony, you have to get this news to Tiffany because if we don't get those croissants off the shelf, the inspector's winter's coming soon, and it's not going to be pretty.
Go right away.
I can hold my feelings in.
Are you sure you can turn off your work phone during this?
I'm sure nothing important's going on right now. It's the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Right? It'll be fine.
You know, this drive-in theater is really cool. It's like in like an huge building, so they just turn off the lights
Turn
and
everything off.
put a thing. It's like a movie theater, but you can
But you're
park.
in a car.
So you chose.
Adam Sandler's Romeo and Juliet. Yeah.
Classic.
One of my favorite films, actually. Reminds me a little of us, you know.
Oh.
And then I'm sorry, that's crazy. Maybe not.
So you always been interested in business?
I mean, it's more I was raised into it, I guess. You know, Reginald always kind of wanted to be our dad's success. This is getting over the wall. sorry. I just remember Reginald was always so into.
I've been running. Sorry, I've been looking all over town.
Anthony, hi.
We
Do you
have
have
an
an
emergency.
movie? Emergency? Oh my God, an emergency?
The salt levels in our croissants are too high.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Reginald's in charge of mixing.
He's been crying into the croissants, and people have been passing out of dehydration. There have been 10 cases so far.
We can reschedule. This is important.
No, I would feel bad. We're in the middle of
People are passing out.
I've learned a lesson. Work is important too.
Well, okay, could hop in. I guess we'll just drive there. That's the convenience of drive-ins. Slam.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, Mr. Inspector, right there. You can see we've totally removed all the salt from the croissants. In fact,
No. This smells too salty.
you can detect sodium chloride with your very nose.
Oh yes, it permeates the air like the scent of unwashed person.
Mr. Inspector, I'm so sorry, but listen, a lot of people at the factory depend on this job, and I'll tell you what, if you check us off, there could be a free donut in it for you.
Oh no, this is the type of donut that squeezes the jelly from the other side.
Oh God! I had no idea.
This is unacceptable, Jerry. I demand you speak to your president.
Please, I need this job. My pension is tied up in this job.
Thank you. Have a lovely time. Sorry, you two have fun.
Anyway, this is my boss, and she's totally responsible.
Hi, Mr. Inspector. Hi. It's so good to see you, sir. Kevin, right? Kevin, Mr. Delancey.
Mr. Delancey.
Mr. Delancey, sorry. Mr. Delancey, well, look, you understand.
A bit more.
My brother's I'm very new at the presidenting, the presidentiality. I'm not sure what the correct term is, but presidency, of course, it's presidency. What I understand is the way my father used to deal was money.
Look,
I don't have a lot of change, but if I give you my platinum card for the next 3 weeks.
He's incorruptible.
Sorry, so sorry. That was a joke.
That was my predecessor, Mr. Delancey.
I'm the new inspector.
I'm so sorry, Mr.
Yes, he
Delancey.
was taken away from the position because of
Embezzlement
illegal
and,
dealing.
yeah,
Yes,
right,
yes.
bribery. Well, Mr. Delancey,
Cheese
your eyes
platter.
are terrifying, powerful.
So salty!
How cheese is, though.
No, I've seen enough. I'm shutting this factory down.
Cleaning all of my father's stuff out of these drawers.
I'm just processing the news.
I'm so sorry I failed all of you.
Original, it's alright.
It's You haven't failed us. If anything, you've been the source of support this whole time. I mean, when I was trying to get Anthony to develop a romantic interest in me, I mean, who was there?
Oh, that's what you were doing?
Oh, Anthony, gee, I didn't mean for you to hear that. You know, when I invited you to the tributary,
I didn't see anything coming with the long romantic walk and the stone skipping.
when I tried to impress you with those facts about water, I had learned them that afternoon.
Really?
And when I told you about the water polo scores, I was just looking them up in the newspaper. When I told you that I owned a yacht, it's my sister's yacht.
Jerry! That's horrible.
Reginald, I just got you now.
It's like we're gonna have to make a new life for ourselves.
God, I've never seen the factory floor so quiet. Empty mix vats. Cobwebs already? At least the roses are still on the walls. I do love those. Guess this is goodbye, old friend. David! Hi! I was supposed to call.
No,
after the movie thing and it's been so.
It's no. Anthony called me about what happened. You guys never asked me what I do for a living.
That's true. We just
I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer?
I looked at the print for the specific shutdown by the FDA, and I took out my lawyer magnifying
glass.
exactly, and I stared deeply into the document, and there's a loophole.
There's a loophole?
Yes. If the current
You brought the book. Oh, nice.
If the current president steps down due to allegations raising the vice president, who technically should have no power in the situation anyways, and therefore has no liability, everything is solved.
That's why the vice presidency exists.
Exactly.
That makes so much sense. That's why we have the chart on every wall.
Exactly.
David, thank you so much.
Oh,
David, I heard that you saved my entire livelihood.
well,
And that thing you did with the loophole was really amazing.
I mean, it's what I do for a living.
Yeah, I guess I never asked you about that.
It doesn't come up really in conversation very often, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you'd go off in Latin and I'd have no idea what you were saying.
Salve, mihi nomen est Tully, quid august.
You'd go on and be like, sum plique, alia jacta est, and I'd be like, die.
What is cast?
I realized one of the problems of our relationship was, I was focusing a lot on me, and, this might come as a surprise, but I was kind of going after Anthony.
Really?
Didn't really work out because I built the foundations of our relationship on lies, falsehoods, superficialities, and faux knowledge. But with you, David, we always had genuine mutual interests.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
jelly donuts and non-water sports. Literally any sport that doesn't involve water we're interested in.
would you sit at my poker table with me?
We also love poker,
Yeah.
even though I always beat you.
Yeah. You always played the best hand in poker.
Flush.
Can I give you some advice?
Oh, well, yeah, sure.
As you count your winnings. I think with Anthony.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Sorry.
You're gonna give me advice to pursue my relationship with Anthony? I was thinking maybe we could reconnect.
I'm really in this thing with Tiffany.
Well, you know what? Fine. If you're gonna be in a relationship with Tiffany, then I'm just gonna go and talk to my best friend Reginald.
This is your desk now,
Oh my
Reggie.
god, oh my
Yeah.
god, oh my god.
Here you go.
Okay.
But the shutdown was my fault. I mean, I was going to
Reggie! Breathe with me. You know Dad saw everything that went on.
Yeah, he didn't choose me.
No. He knew what would happen. Don't you remember? We figured out, we remembered why the vice presidency exists.
Tiffany, do you ever think that maybe Dad didn't know everything? I'm so sorry, I can't believe I said that.
How could you say that? In the presence of his wall-wide portrait.
I'm so sorry, Dad.
I mean, look at that disapproving brow furrow.
Tiffany,
It's almost like he knew you would say something sitting directly at his desk.
Tiffany, I don't want to do this.
Reggie, why do you say that?
I...
Hey. If anyone can do this, it's you, Reggie.
No, Tiffany, I mean, I don't want to do this. I've been spending my whole life trying to be the leader that Dad wanted me to be. But maybe I'm just not cut out to be either the president or the vice president of a standing mixer croissant company.
What are you talking about? What? Reggie, what would you... I mean, that's been our entire life. Our entire life.
Tiffany, I found something I'm really good at. Romance consulting. I've never been good at this. I try as hard as I can, and I yell at people, and I tell them that painting roses on the wall will foment revolution, and I just copy the rules out of Dad's book, but I have no instinct for this. Look, if you want me to do it, I'll do it, but...
No, Reggie, I'm not going to make you do something that you don't want to do. But, I mean, if you're not president, and I'm legally not allowed to be president anymore, there's only one person left who can be president of the company.
Well, we fired Jeremy.
No, we fired Jeremy. That's right. He's not eligible anymore. You know,
And Jerry's not here anymore either.
I think we're gonna have to call him back.
Are you talking about Joseph?
Jerry?
From a standing mixer to the president of the standing mixer croissant company.
Gonna have to.
Yes, peasant.
My letter of resignation.
Ding, David. Ding, ding, David. I need you to find a loophole in this resignation so that Anthony cannot resign. Unfortunately, no one can resign from my company without my explicit approval.
Are you going to listen to her, David, after the lies, the misinformation, the false knowledge,
I'm paying him very well.
the propaganda?
There's no loophole. Look with the magnifying glass.
That thread has no loops in it.
Well,
Guess this is goodbye.
I'll miss you.
I'll see you at the store, I suppose,
When
sometime.
we're shopping for ingredients, me for my factory and you for your home groceries.
Yeah.
You're still gonna stay employed with me, right, David?
David, dear, you ready to go on vacation?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good holiday.
I will. Enjoy your Christmas.
Thanks. Yeah, I will.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Jerry.
Yeah, Merry
I
Christmas.
hope that the president sees everything you wanted it to be.
Yeah, and
Retirement's great.
congrats on your engagement.
Thank you. And good luck with your birthday party with Reginald.
Yeah. Thanks.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear President of Standing Mixer and Croissant Company Joseph. Happy birthday to you.
You know, Reginald. Okay, let me make a wish. You know, a lot of people have hurt me in this company, Reginald. But I have to say, becoming president, owning this stuffy armchair, and having you as a friend has made it worth it.
Nah. You ever need any romance consulting? Here's my new business card.
You know, I think I might call this number and invite you to the pasture.
And
Thank you all for coming to our 2-act play. We're so glad you could make it. It was.
And that was the first act.
And now we're going to start the second hour. Can we get a suggestion? Just kidding. We are Lux